All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here. It's bullwave.org. Check out the website if you like nightly Elliott wave updates. Check and see if that's recording. Yes, it seems. Okay, it's Friday morning. Just kicked into afternoon, lunchtime. The market has not opened in the US yet, so we're going to get an early start on it today. So hope you're all well. Let's get into this week's action, and we'll see what's going down. All right, here's euro dollar. This is the daily chart. You can see overall that's the 1-2 pattern that I've been looking for. Been ongoing for a long time now. A sideways move basically off the wave 1 top in wave B. So this would be wave A down, wave B up, and then wave C down. Looking at the end of wave C coming in pretty soon. The action even this week is obviously it can be interpreted a few different ways, but there is a possibility that we're kind of hitting an exhaustion kind of at the top of wave C. So this could be an ending diagonal pattern. I haven't labeled it that way, but that's a possibility. 4-hour count shows a real decline in upside momentum. The daily count, it definitely shows a top out and a reversal of momentum high. Is wave 5 about to top and turn? Well, I kind of hope so. I've been allowing for this pattern to run higher over the last week or so, but it kind of refuses to do so. It's quite stuck in the mud, to be quite honest. There is a possible 1-2 pattern here, which I'm flagging this morning. So we could have a tight running flat correction here in wave 2. If this is wave 5 up, wave 1 and 2 as a running flat, and then maybe a 1-2 to begin wave 3. In this scenario, we'll run higher in this channel for another few days and top out next week about 113.80, 114 kind of area, and then I look for reversal into wave C. But the moment it's an interesting kind of waypoint we've hit here, because without an acceleration higher, this is definitely not a third wave. So, if we fail again, it's been a slight failure yesterday, but if we fail again and we start breaking out below these interim lows, a wave 2 about 110.83, if we break that, then, the tide could turn on this one. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, here's pound dollar. Again, it's a B wave pattern high that we've hit here. Pound dollar has kind of advanced a little bit against, if you compare it against euro dollar, generally similar pattern. Wave B top here has broken out above the wave A or the wave 1 top. So expanded flat correction. We've broken out to a new high. I think the pattern is probably more advanced here in wave C of B, and again looking for a turn down into wave C, which hasn't happened yet. You can see on the 4-hour chart how we've run higher above 2 separate trend channels there. So we've got a definite throw over in play or in position right now. Go to the hourly chart. You can see the market this pair has been quite choppy as it has advanced into wave 5. Maybe even we have possibility that wave 5 is even in place now. There was earlier on in the week another more interesting reversal off that top. So, we've been in there or thereabouts for the last week. We are in the final throes of wave 5 of C, but what final pattern that takes is it's kind of yet to be decided, to be honest. We shall see. We'll see. The next week should tell a lot, I think. And wave C down is a long way down, so I think it's worth waiting for, to be quite honest. Okay, dollar yen. We had quite a spike overnight there, so it may have thrown the cat amongst the pigeons. And if that's the case, maybe we have wave B already in place here. I think that's one worth watching, to be honest. And if that's the case, then wave C down will come sooner than expected. At the moment, on the short-term chart, I'm still looking for wave B of A to top out about 150 and then reverse down. You can see it there, wave B break of 149.45, so in around 150 would be an interesting place for wave B to top. The action today is, well, overnight is it'll have to be explained. I'm going to give it the rest of the day. I mean, if the trade this week has been quite positive towards the dollar, I'm looking to see if this spike decline here will be retraced. If it's significantly retraced, then I think we're probably quite safe looking for wave C to continue higher. But if it ain't, if that retracement won't come, well, then we may have wave B already in place. But at the moment, I'm not going to take that jump. Let's go to the hourly count and I'll show you what I'm thinking here. A possible wedge higher. Maybe it's a leading wedge up into wave 1, and then that stark reaction off the high there has been in wave 2. If that's the case, then let's get a top on that. If that's the case, if we have wave 1 in place at that high, then the low overnight just tagged the 50% retracement of wave 1. And if that's the case, if that just tagged the 50% retracement, then that's a solid area for a second wave to bottom out and to turn higher again. So, if the trade turns positive back towards the dollar again, and if we see a breakout above 146, then I think there's no reason to not expect a rally out above 150 to complete wave C. But we'll see how it goes. We will see how it goes. So far, the reversal in dollar yen has been quite positive. Last week we were looking for, and that's what I was pointing out, is the reversal in the dollar is happening, and that's kind of more or less what played out this week. We reached a high 146, 146.46. Whatever news came, whatever knee-jerk reaction came overnight there, or early this morning, well, we'll see. It looks like the kind of move that could be retraced, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, let's move on. The daily count, or the daily chart in the Dow. I'm still poking myself in the eye here, calling this a wave 5 top of C. So that's ABC up in wave B, and that would be an alternate count there. A wave B top should result in a reversal down into wave C. The market continues to hold above the upper trend channel line here on the daily count. You can see that we have a significant reversal. Let's say we had a spike into a top in RSI, at least. Anyway, it wasn't really mirrored in MACD, but the spike top in RSI came at this interim high. That'll be wave B of 4. So ever since then, we've kind of crawled higher, but not in terms of momentum. It's been pretty steady, I'd say, in terms of momentum. So you could suggest that we are actually still building lower highs in momentum as we create a top in this, a fake wave B top. It ain't a breakout. It's the end of the line, basically. But the turn has not happened yet. So let's see how the market reacts next week. We're holding at the high so far this week. Still seem to be kind of stuck within this rising channel. And there are a few different ways we can interpret this, obviously. This would be, at the moment, an alternate count. That would be a kind of what you might say is a trumpet pattern or an expanding wedge pattern. A series of internal threes, overall tracing 5 waves up, and now we'd be topping out in wave C of 5 of 5. And again, there's a lot to be said for that. The main count is a standard 5-wave pattern up in wave 5 of C. And so far, we've kind of created a top this week without any reversal. So it's a disappointing week, but disappointing action overall, really, to be honest. Basically gone sideways in the last week. So nothing to report here yet. But the book is still open on this one. I still think there's a major trapdoor. The market is standing on a trapdoor here, and who knows how, what will it take to open that trapdoor for the market to fall through into an impulsive wave one decline. The possibilities there, reality hasn't hit yet. Okay, let's move on to gold. Here's a daily count in gold. Here's a top in a fifth wave of wave 3. So we have 5 waves up in wave 3, expecting a decline into wave 4. You can see we've been rising in that channel over the last year, basically, well, 2 years. And now we have a major rollover in that channel. If I get, let's say, a best, well, if we went to an Elliott channel for wave 3, we definitely have an argument to be made for, let's get that Elliott channel correct. Argument to be made that wave 5 is topping at the upper trend channel line here. So the Elliott channel suggests it. The short-term count, not quite there yet. We could have, if this is wave 5 of 3, we could have wave 3 of 5 just complete and looking for a decline into wave 4. And on the short-term count, that's exactly what I've been looking for. So again, we filled out 1, 2, 3 channels on the hourly count or on the hourly chart. So expect some weakness here and turn down into wave 4 next week. I am suggesting. Of course, be watching it every night on the nightly updates. If you want to join the website, you'll see. Okay, here's the daily count for crude oil. Now, an interesting rally this week, followed by an interesting decline. We're basically flat. No, we're actually down on the week, I think. This is the daily chart here. You can see that triangle was what we were following for a while, looking for a decline into a fifth wave, and that seems to be what is underway right now. You can see on the 4-hour count, you can see that's the top of the triangle. Possible wave 1 and 2. And again, there's a couple of ways we can view this. This could be a running flat wave 2, and that could be wave 1 and wave 2, again, to start wave 3. I'm going for the simpler of the options here. At the moment, I'm tracking a possible contraction triangle in wave 4 of 3. So this would be wave 1 of 3, wave 2 of 3, wave 3 of 3, and then triangle wave 4 of 3. That'd be kind of a consolidation sideways for the next month or so, I would imagine. As long as the range continues to contract here, then that's exactly what I'll be labeling this as. And once wave 4 completes, then we should step lower again into wave 5. Here we have 3 up in A, 3 down in B. We'd expect a 3 up again in wave C over the next few days, probably back above $70 again. Definitely should hold below 72.26 now. So that was the kind of tight stop that we had to put on this fourth wave correction. And the reason why I've kind of stuck with the triangle since then is because the wave 1 low came in at about 71.40. I don't know what exactly it was in the cash market, but on the futures market at 71.40. So we had an initial break through that 71.40 in a fourth wave, which will not stand in a standard fourth wave or standard impulse pattern. So I'm looking for wave 4 to complete below that wave 1. The triangle will allow that. So initial wave A can break above wave 1. We've come down again solidly this week in wave B. Then I would like to see, if this is triangle and this is wave C coming up in the triangle, I'd like to see wave C close before breaking that wave 1 top, or sorry, that wave 1 below or low again. I know I'm confusing myself here even. So if you're holding on to this, well done to you. But anyway, the rest of the triangle should continue to contract in range, and we should see a close of wave 4 below wave 1. And that would be a pretty sweet way to end this pattern. Somewhere over the next, I would say 2 weeks, maybe even 3, depending on how wave C, D, and E play out. And obviously, if we turn down impulsively again, we start breaking to new lows, then we'll have to look at the larger pattern again. But for the moment, I think triangle is quite it's the best fit pattern at the moment. So let's see how that works out next week in wave C of 4. Now let's move on to the S&P. This is the 4-hour count in the S&P, tracking that 5-wave pattern higher into wave 5 of C, and then we are right back up against that upper trend channel line again. So we have a closeout of wave 5 up near the upper trend channel line. We're beginning to hug the lower side of that trend channel line. The larger pattern here would allow for probably a throw over above that. The wave 5 pattern, wave 5 in green pattern, would allow for a throw over above that upper trend channel line. Again, to close out wave C, but this week, the action has been quite mellow, basically sideways. A little spike on Wednesday, retraced again on Thursday, and now we're holding below that on the over. The futures trade this morning is holding below that, so you wouldn't expect much else than that, I suppose. Let's see, does Friday bring a new high? It never ceases to amaze me, the madness of crowds, but there you go. If you're willing to go and buy a market that's about as overvalued as you could ever expect any market to be, then go ahead, be my guest. We'll see how that goes. Right, let's see if this 5th wave holds today. Maybe if we turn down again, I'd be quite interested in that. We'll move on. Let's see what silver's holding for us. The pattern in silver extended higher in wave 1. You can see on the hourly count here, that'll be wave 1 of 3. So we're still a pretty solid 5-wave pattern. We've got 1, 2, acceleration wave 3, consolidation sideways in a triangle in wave 4, and then a spike to a new high in wave 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still not getting a, let's say, the requisite retracement into wave 2 that you would expect. Back towards that corrective range again, below $30. I would suspect in wave 2, and then once that's complete, I'd look higher in wave 3 of 3. That would be quite an interesting wave if we get there. From there, I think let's take a look at the NASDAQ for a second. What we have right now, I know that we broke to a new interim high, again at a lower high, so we still have the possibility of a 1-2 pattern here in the NASDAQ, which is, very interesting on my book anyway. We had a slight reversal this week also, so a possibility of a wave 5 top with a reversal. We'll see how that goes. Interestingly enough, we have, if we go for a wave A and wave C, no, not. Interestingly enough, we have a solid completed pattern, but a possible reversal around that 78.6 reversal or 78.6 retracement. So that 78.6 retracement came in for the wave A high, or marked the top of the wave A high. Yeah, more or less. We came down in 3 waves back in September, and then we have rallied out in 5 waves since then. So the book is open on this one as well. Interesting pattern yesterday, spike lower, possible lower high. I would always love to see a run down to break the previous wave B low. That'd be 18,300. If that happens, then I think everything is back on the table again for a 3rd wave decline. But closing out in the 2nd wave in a lower high after 3 waves up, in my book, that's a pretty solid indicator here. So we've got wave A, B, and C, and we still are at a lower high here. So we'll see how that goes this week. All right, thanks for watching. I always end the weekend video with a, let's say, a call to think eternally, because we are physically finite beings. We are all sinners. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. And God just asks one thing of us, is to accept the Messiah that he sent 2,000 years ago. And by the way, he said he'd be gone for 2,000 years and he'd come back after that. So we're in that time frame right now. Jesus also said there'd be wars and rumors of wars, so we're also in that time frame right now. I think at this point there are more wars going on across the world than there has been for the last 100 years. If I remember that statistic correctly, there are more wars ongoing right now. So war is breaking out across the world. There is a spirit of war. There is a spirit of rebellion in the air. So it seems to me that there is a war coming to a street corner near you. It would be best to be on the side of the Messiah before that happens. So there you go. Accept Messiah and be saved, and we'll see you in heaven. And if I ain't there this week, next week coming, I'll see you next Friday. All right. Bye-bye.